Storm Debby Update, August 5, 2024.
Turning down Emily Lane. Here's
Kylan's got to go check the mail. It's tough around here. To get the mail takes a little bit of extra.
Today, August 6, 2024, a major tropical storm has struck South Carolina and Georgia, causing significant damage and mass evacuations. The storm brought high winds, heavy rain, and high waves, causing concern among residents and authorities. The tropical storm formed in the Atlantic Ocean several days earlier and began to strengthen as it approached the coast of the United States. The National Weather Service had issued a hurricane warning several days earlier, allowing residents to prepare for a potential disaster. However, the intensity and speed of the storm turned out to be greater than expected. In South Carolina, especially in coastal cities such as Charleston and Myrtle Beach, the storm caused severe flooding. Many major roads were underwater, causing significant traffic disruptions.
Windy here, Matt. Valencia, Bonita. 1:30 p.m.
Some areas experienced power outages due to fallen trees that damaged power lines. Homes and commercial buildings in coastal areas also suffered severe damage from the high winds and high waves. In Georgia, cities such as Savannah and Brunswick were also seriously affected. Flooding and high winds caused damage to infrastructure, including bridges and highways. Local authorities have issued evacuation orders in some of the most vulnerable areas, while rescue teams and medical personnel have been deployed to help affected residents. Federal and state governments have coordinated to respond quickly to the disaster. Rescue teams, including the National Guard, have been deployed to assist with evacuations and provide emergency assistance. Temporary shelters have been opened in several locations to accommodate displaced residents. Authorities continue to urge residents to remain vigilant and monitor weather updates through official channels. Residents in vulnerable areas are urged to comply with evacuation orders and avoid non-essential travel until the situation is safe. Tropical Storm 6, which struck South Carolina and Georgia on August 6, 2024, is a reminder of the importance of being prepared for natural disasters. Although the damage was significant, good coordination between authorities and public awareness can help minimize loss of life and property. Recovery efforts will continue to restore conditions in affected areas. Hurricane Debby battered the Tampa Bay area with heavy rain and flooding. As Hurricane Debby passed through the Tampa Bay area of the Gulf Coast on its way to land in Big Bend, Florida, it left behind flooding and storm surge. Several major roads, including Bayshore Boulevard and portions of the Howard Franklin Bridge and the Sunshine Skyway, were closed due to heavy rain and wind hazards. In Pinellas County, a fire engine was unable to withstand the heavy rains from Hurricane Debby, as a fire engine in Largo flooded during the storm. In St. Pete, an area that is always prone to flooding, Shore Acres, experienced flooding again from Hurricane Debby. The intersection was closed, but some cars still tried to get through. Some people who were traveling at the time returned home to find they couldn't get back into their homes. In Clearwater, residents of Mariners Cove were prepared in advance, as the low-lying area is known to flood during major storms and hurricanes, like Debby. And Gulfport Beach saw the effects of Hurricane Debby, as heavy rains hit the area and caused flooding. The Sarasota Police Department released images showing flooding in several areas of the area. Photos and videos taken around the Tampa Bay area on Sunday show wind, rain, and flooding as Hurricane Debby moved toward Florida. Debby strengthened into a hurricane Sunday night before making landfall in Big Bend, Florida, on Monday. Until then, Floridians, like those living in the Tampa Bay area, were feeling its presence. Footage captured by Fox weather correspondent Robert Ray shows how the winds created massive waves that pounded the shores of Tampa Bay. In the footage shown below, heavy rain pounded Tampa Bay beachfront properties as tree branches were bent in the wind. The video above captures images of wind and rain pounding a pier in St. Petersburg. As the camera angle pans from the shore to the water, waves can be seen rolling in. Images taken in the Treasure Island neighborhood show flooded streets between homes. The storm has caused damage, including streetlights being knocked out in the Clearwater Beach area.
Hurricane Debby!
After making
Debby
landfall in Florida, Debby is expected to bring strong winds and heavy rain to Georgia and the Carolinas. Debby is still a Category 1 hurricane as it makes landfall in Florida's Big Bend region, but it will soon become a tropical storm as the system disconnects from the warm waters that fuel it. The reduction in wind speeds will do little to limit Debby's wrath, as heavy rain and flooding will spread across much of Florida and southern Georgia this morning and persist for days.
Up to my knees right here.
Debby will move generally north-northeastward, with its center likely to cross into southern Georgia by mid-afternoon Tuesday. The system will move slowly through southeastern Georgia until its center emerges over the Atlantic around midday Tuesday.